Rhythm is life. Rhythm is soul. I say, let's get it right this time. Let love unfold.
Yeah, I just want to bring up the clock challenge again. So I believe ever since I did that, like just noticing that time doesn't like really move and actually experiencing that, that's been one of the major things that's like helped me over here.
It's pretty hard to it's even hard to talk about it, like until it's actually experienced. It's very difficult to talk about it, you know. And the closest I can get to it is particularly in relation to the clock challenge, the minute, just watching the minute hand, you know. I mean, you can do it once you start to understand what it is I'm pointing to there. You can do it with everything. A branch seeming to move in the wind, or a car driving by. Yeah, anything that mind is saying is actually moving. What's actually happening is, and it, I know it's going to sound bizarre, but anyway, what's actually happening is everything is bursting into existence right now, brand new and fresh, brand new. Like, try and fathom the intelligence behind that.
Yeah.
Try and fathom.
At first, I didn't know.
Yeah. So.
I remember I've heard you say that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but mind will say, yep, car's moving, where in actual fact, it's just, it's just bursting into existence. Now I have to use the word time because I'm speaking about it dualistically. Yeah? It's bursting into existence all the time. There's never like, there's never a moment before. Mind says there is, absolutely. That's how we function out here in this seeming dualistic world that we live in. Until you discover it's not dualistic, and the only thing that makes it seem dualistic is the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Very useful tool. Very useful. Yeah. It's a sensory organ. Mind is just a sensory organ. That's all it is. That's all it is. We just need to get it to stop making up stories about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then it's just the sixth sense, the sensory organ.
Yeah, after I caught all the imagination that's going on and how like a firsthand like experience after all the noticing of the content, now literally within the last few days, it just completely like quiet down. And even when a story tries to come up, it just cuts off, or it doesn't even, no attention is given to it.
Beautiful.
And then it's seen that I am not thinking. I mean, before I had the intellectual understanding that I'm not thinking my thoughts, but it's actually seen through now. And I believe that's why it's not even coming.
Yeah.
Like it was at all.
Yeah. It's got to be seen. You know, to take it as a conceptual understanding, that's not seeing it. That's not seeing it. It's literally seeing it. And you're in the best seat in the house to do that, because thoughts are going on all day, bloody every day for the seeming person. You're the best seat in the house to check it out. What's actually happening? What's actually happening? Yeah. Like I've said it before, if you were the thinker man, you'd stop it. You would just simply stop it. Simply. Especially thoughts like, God, I've been on this spiritual path for so long. When am I going to get it? What's wrong with me? How come I can't see it? Blah, blah. My God, that's just also happening. And if you could stop that, you'd stop it. You would stop it. The words that are coming out of my mouth now, there's no person here speaking these words. Words or verbalizing anything, yeah, is just vocalized thought. Happens the same way. I've no idea what's going to come out of my mouth next. None. It's just happening. Sometimes people go, how much time do you spend, prepping for these satsangs that you do? And I say, none. Zero. Just, it's ridiculous. No, even if I prepped for it, for sure, if I prepped for it, for sure, what would come out of my mouth wouldn't be what I prepped for. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Yeah. So it's becoming aware of what's actually happening. There's no doer here. There's no speaker here. There's not even a hearer there. It's just hearing. Doesn't need an entity, a person for hearing to be occurring. But what mind does is hearing, and then mind steps in and says, yep, that's me hearing. What? Okay, go looking for that me that's claiming that it's hearing. And what do you find? Literally, like, what do you find when you go looking for the me that's the hearer? What the hell do you find?
Nothing. I literally feel like my sense of self in the last few days has just been like, in a good way, just like my obsessions and thoughts about, tomorrow this, it's all gone.
Yeah, beautiful.
Like magic.
Good.
Yeah. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks, Zobby. We think we're the thinker, we think we're the speaker. Try not speaking. Just for the next month. No words coming out of your mouth. Good luck if you hold a job or you've got family or you've got people that you absolutely need to communicate with. Speaking happens, thinking happens, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling happens. The being happens. All by itself, everything. Doesn't require a person. In fact, the person can't experience any of that. None of it. None of it. Yet there is experiencing. One's real and one's not. How you doing, Lloyd?
Yeah, good. I just have a couple of questions about what you just said.
I knew you did.
Yeah, one was, good. One was, there has to be a locality for this mind-body thing that you're looking at to have particular experiencing That's the first thing. And the second thing is, who's running the show?
All right. So,
But they're different sort of questions.
yeah. So first thing, that would be a typical idea of the mind. There must be a location. If there's no location, how could experiencing be happening? True?
Yes, like you experience your lounge room and your screen in a different way that I do the same for my situation. So yes, of course.
Yeah. Well, all I can say to that.
Well, you know stuff that I don't know, and I know stuff you don't know. So what? I can't see how that's very controversial.
I know, but it's still all coming from even the question is arising in duality. Even the question. See, there's an assumption that there's a location. Okay, now, if there's a location, who or what is it that's located in that location?
This particular portal for the divine intelligence, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, that just came from your head. In your direct experience, who's located where?
Well, I can't find anything, to be honest.
Right, good. So you go with the truth. Go with the truth of your own experience. And then watch the mind, then simply just watch the mind throw up exactly what it just threw up in relation to that question. Just watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a way in which the play runs with this reality of these apparent creatures who do have apparent separate experiences. I get it. So really, it's the wrong question, because you're asking the question from the basis of the separated personality rather than from the basis of
Correct.
the one within whom and what it all happens.
Correct.
Okay.
So the question's based on the assumption that there's a me here that's experiencing a location.
Okay.
Now, now, what is it that said that or assumes that? The mind.
Yes, it sounds pretty good to me, but yeah, I can see once you've deconstructed it how it's just it's a obvious statement from a premise that isn't true.
Yeah, from your direct experience. Yeah. That's the important thing to see. From your direct experience, it's not true.
Yeah. So again, you can have these. You continue to have these contradictory experiences. So on the one hand, there is no separate person or entity, yet on the other, there apparently is. So then you get that sort of dissonance between the two things, and I suppose what you're saying is, well, you resolve your dissonance with just returning to the fundamental question about the non-reality of the separate person. But I suppose that's a way through. Yes, well,
that's the only way. The truth is the only way.
But then there's the play. You see, there's then there's just what happens, and this sort of interesting variety of what apparent personalities and apparent people and apparent drama and apparent this is and apparent that's, and then there's that play which does seem to exist somewhere in somebody, in something's imagination. It may not be me as a dream character, but it may be some other entity which is having a good imaginal session at my expense. So
all right. So look, if I there's a couple of different approaches I could take to this, but let's take this one. You're being dreamed.
Yes.
You're completely being dreamed, which then begs the question, well, who's the dreamer?
Yeah, exactly. Please tell me. I don't know.
That's why I sometimes ask you, yeah, am I the thinker? Or when you're asleep, are you responsible for the dream that's occurring when your body's
No, I'm not.
sound asleep on the bed? Yeah. Yeah. Then I might say, where do thoughts come from? And then where do they go to? I mean, where the hell do they come from? We never
Yeah.
question it. And
It's
we never
quite amazing,
question,
isn't it?
and
Yeah.
we never question, where the hell do they go? We're so fond of duality. It's amazing we don't ask that question.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you know, it's quite fascinating. Just being in the middle of something that thought emerges from and then articulates itself into language.
Yep.
In a spontaneous manner.
Yep.
That's kind of very odd. I mean, sure, there's shorthand ways of saying that, like I said this or whatever it is, but
Sure.
it's quite mysterious, the whole thing. I mean, I find it, when you look at it, like, wow, that's kind of strange, you know, how that works, sort of thing. Yeah.
So the idea there, what we're trying to invoke there is the fact that you are conscious of all that. Now, none of us, like when we're caught in the story, when we're caught in the me, we are so not conscious. Or, if I could put it this way, we're not conscious of being conscious. Sound asleep. Walking around, driving our cars all over the place, or going to work and interacting with people and so on. We're sound asleep to consciousness itself. Yeah. And it's only consciousness that could be aware of the mind. Only.
Yep.
How else could be aware of the mind and the content of the mind? Yeah. So the idea is to at least start to, it's like a separating out, Lloyd, from the mind. Starting to see that all of that's just happening. Oh, I'm not the thinker. And if I was, I'd stop it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I understand that.
Good.
You've said many times.
Good. Now,
investigate what you're not. Yes,
good.
Absolutely.
Good. Now, it's only consciousness that recognizes what you're not Lloyd. When I say not Lloyd, I'm talking about the personal Lloyd that you've been taking yourself to be. It's not Lloyd that recognizes it. It's consciousness that recognizes it. So the more you can start to come to see what you're not, and that everything, I don't care what it is, everything is just happening. The more you come to see all that, the more conscious you become in your direct experience of actually being conscious, being here, being awake, aware of being. Because you know, like when we go look into the personal person, what do we find? I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
if there really was a personal person there, we'd find it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, we'd find it.
It's a construction. It's a very useful construction, basically.
Yeah. Yep. Until this starts happening. Yeah. This process is an unlearning. It's not a learning. It's an unlearning. Yeah. And not at any time during this process are we trying to find our true self. Not at any time. We're never asked to do that. Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be just false self looking for true self. And you've heard me do that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just recognizing what's actually happening. What's actually happening. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, if you look outside of yourself for a moment, yeah, when you see a car go by, yeah, mind says that car's moving. What's in your direct experience, in the absolute direct experience, okay, the car seems to be moving, yeah, in relation to what? Where mind says it once was. But mind says it once was there, but the reality is in your direct experience, it's not there. It's always just here, now. Now. It's mind that creates the illusion that there's movement. It's useful.
Yeah.
It's useful. I'm not saying that you know,
yeah.
Mind is amazing. It's an amazing instrument. Incredible. The only time it becomes problematic is when it makes up a seeming person, and then the seeming person wants to wake up from it. Then it's a problem for a little while. For a little while, until you start to see what's actually happening. But even the mere fact that you're on this path or that you're looking at this stuff, nothing to do with Lloyd.
Yeah.
Zero. This is also just happening. That's why sometimes you'll hear me say with people, yeah, relax. It's okay. This whole process has got nothing to do with you. Relax. Seriously, relax. And just keep coming back to the truth. That's all. That's all. You know, Bob used to say that all the time. I mean, he still does, but the truth is what sets you free. The truth from your direct experience. Your direct experience, you do not need mind for direct experience. Yeah? Like you're sitting there now and you're conscious, Lloyd, yeah? Yeah. And you absolutely know it. Yeah. Do you need mind to tell you you're conscious? Or you know? Yeah. Are you seeing right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you need mind to step in and say, you know, to clarify that?
No.
No. That's the direct experience. From your direct experience. That's why I got you guys to do that 10-minute thing, looking at the clock, the minute hand, looking at it. When does it move? In your direct experience. Mind will say, well, it's at the 5-minute mark now, and I remember it was back there. But in your direct experience, you've got nothing to compare it to. You've literally have nothing to compare it to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Always come back to your direct experience, always. And trust that. Trust that. Don't trust this. Don't trust this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose to the mind, it seems like you're asking for something which is a bit like, I do realize the contradiction in my statement here, but you know, there is a world of movement and there is a world of people running around. And even if you want to get rid of the doer and just use doing, that's fine. You know, you can make that compromise, but the reality is you know, who knows what the reality is, but you know, there's an apparentness to the dream, okay? And
Yeah.
I suppose that's true. So that's fine. You know, you can flip out and, you know, realize the true nature of the dream and wake up. And I suppose before that happens, there's still this apprehension of, wait a minute, I still have to go to work. I still have to feed my face. I still have to negotiate traffic.
Yeah.
You know, like there's all that there. But I think what you're saying is, hey, just go with your direct experience. That'll take care of itself.
Correct. As it always has.
As it always has.
As it always has. There's just an
Yeah.
assumption that there's me that's been doing it all. An assumption.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't really need to negotiate the dream once you've woken up, hey?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Everything's still just happening.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It comes with its own self-sourcing pudding, like comes with its own sauce.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do understand. I thank you so much. That's
Yeah.
very clear.
Yeah. The only thing I want to add there is in your direct experience, you're conscious. And none of us have got a fucking clue what that is until we know what that is. And it's constantly overlooked. And the reason that it's overlooked is because mind steps in and says, yeah, I'm conscious. Mind can't experience consciousness. That's why, you know, being here and in the now and conscious and so on and so forth is no big deal. Because mind can't get it. It literally can't experience it. And it's a dead, you know, you'll hear it. It's a dead giveaway. It'll go, yeah, I'm conscious. Nah. So it's profound. It's profound. It's profound. But there's a, you know, mind, see, all mind's got in relation to consciousness is a concept of it. And it literally takes the concept of consciousness to be consciousness. And the concept is not consciousness. That's what it does. Watch your own mind. Watch what it does. Watch it. The more you can watch it, the more conscious you become. You're no longer in it and wearing it like a skin.
Yeah.
Like you're in the middle of the dream, you know, or you're in the middle of the mind and tossed this way and tossed that way. Yeah, it's a coming out of it.
Yeah.
Gradual coming out of it. Yeah. And the more you can come out of it, the more conscious you become. And then at some point, there's just a loss of interest in mind altogether. Because this is realized to be real. This is realized to be alive. Then what will naturally occur is, and it might just come through as a thought, yeah, an idea. My God, what's this? What's this? Because you're starting to experience it directly then. Yeah. And you just lose interest in mind altogether. You don't need mind to explore this. You are this. It's this that starts to awaken. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I saw some questions rattling around in your head before I asked you.
It was. I don't know what.
It's all right. It's good. It's all good. How's Jackie?
I'm good. This week, I took what you told me last week about having, like in the past, I've always tried to look in the future and have a plan and not do that so much, just without trying to be present. Every day, I've just tried to let things happen. And if I have ideas or things that seem appealing to me that I think about I'd like to do one day, I just kind of think about it and then I just let it go, as opposed to just obsessing about it like I normally would. I'm a bit like Zavi. I tend to have some OCD issues and anxiety issues and worry and think about things way too much.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
That's lessening a lot for me, which is nice.
Just one thing I want to point out there, and it's a trap we can all fall into. Not making plans is the same as making plans.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see what I'm pointing at there?
I don't know. I can't figure that.
All right. Who'd not be making plans?
Me.
Yeah. Who'd be making plans?
Me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Careful of that one. There's nothing wrong with making plans. Just don't have an investment in the outcome. Let the plan happen, whatever it be. I don't know. It might be, I'm planning on going skiing next weekend because, we're about to get 10 to 12 inches of snow. Yeah. Okay. So make the plan. I mean, how long does it take to make a plan to go skiing? Seriously. How long would it take to plan that? Really? How long would it take to plan I'm going skiing next weekend?
Yeah, not very long.
Not very long at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you make the plan, pencil it in your diary, let go. It's over. Then just see what happens. Have no investment in it.
I get that.
If it comes up to make the plan, make the plan. Don't resist it. Don't not make the plan because it's I'm trying not to make plan. That's still a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Things are still going to arise. The mind can be very useful. Yeah. The only time it ain't so great is when it creates a seeming person. Then there's suffering that seems to happen, or anxiety that seems to happen, or OCD that seems to happen, depression that seems to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think I haven't resisted making plans more short term. I guess I'm thinking more like long term, like in my mind where I think my life needs to be in a year. I'm trying not to do that.
Yeah.
But I can dream and think about it, which is fun,
Don't try not to do it.
Okay.
Don't try not to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just come back to now. Always just come back to now and deal with now. Always only now. What's happening now? Right now. What's happening? Like, let's assume I'm asking you that question right now, Jackie. What's happening right now?
I'm talking to you.
What about when you're not talking to me? What's happening now? Now. Notice there's no words coming out of your mouth. What's happening now? Right now.
I'm just here.
Any thoughts going on at all?
No.
No? And what's wrong with right now?
Nothing.
Are you content with that?
Yes.
Really?
Well, at the second.
We're not very often content with right now.
No.
Not from the personal standpoint. That's why we're always trying to become.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be happy when. Yeah. or the holiday that I'm planning in 12 months' time, I can really look forward to that because that'll make me feel better. Again, becoming. Yeah. The only thing we have to deal with presently is what the mind is saying. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Where do problems arise?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't seep out of the lounge suite, do they? Problems don't seep out of the wall. They're not floating around in midair.
Mm-hmm.
It all occurs in mind. Yeah. And we take what mind is saying to be gospel. And because mind can't, as I was just saying to Lloyd, because mind can't experience here now, goes looking for something else. Yet you're experiencing it. You just don't know what that is yet.
I get glimpses of it and it's so peaceful.
Yeah, it's profound.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't getting glimpses of it, you wouldn't keep coming back to this. You wouldn't. Well, I mean, what for? You'd exhaust it intellectually and go, and then go looking for something else to stimulate the mind. Yeah.
I have found that I have no desire to read any more books. I had bought a bunch of books that I hadn't gotten to, and I tried to start reading one last week, and I was just like, I don't want to read about it anymore.
Yeah. All the I don't know what books that you've bought, but if they're non-dual books, all of them are pointing to here now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you conscious right now?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I can't.
Yeah, but you gave it away in the shrug. Yeah. Tell me about that. Yeah. That's a typical response from the mind because it can't experience it.
Mm-hmm.
It can't experience it. Yeah. Conscious? Yeah, I'm conscious. Yeah, yeah, I'm here now. And what's the big deal?
Yeah, the mind gets very bored quickly if I'm just trying to sit still and quiet. And
Who cares?
mm-hmm.
Who cares? What would it be that would care about that?
The mind.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who cares about that?
Will you talk a little bit about free will? I've heard you talk about that in the past, that we have no free will, that free will is actually God's will or source. Because we're taught so much in this society to have a strong will and we have control of our life and all of that. And
Good. How's that working for you?
it's not.
It's probably because it's not true.
Right.
Right? But we're taught that, yeah. And then when we can't manifest stuff, we go, oh, there's something wrong with me. I'm so weak. I'm so pathetic. What's wrong with me? Others seem to be able to do it. That'll be the dialogue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with you, but that'll be the dialogue that will go on. Yeah. Talk about free will. Gee. The only time will is free is in the absence of me. That's the only time will is then free. In the absence of me. All right. So, if you want to dive into that, what's your direct experience, Jackie, of having free will?
Well, it seems that when I wake up in the morning and start my day, I go make a cup of tea and,
Yeah.
you know, that's.
Why is there the assumption that it's Jackie doing that?
Yeah, I'm starting to question all that. Who's doing that? Is
Good.
it
Good.
just happening?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes we'll say, oh, I woke up in the morning and I had the thought to get up and go and make a cup of tea. Yeah? Where'd the thought come from?
Mm-hmm.
We assume the thought comes from the me. We assume that me is the thinker. All right, so let's say that's where we're stuck. All right, so from that point, we've got to then go looking for the me that's the thinker. Where's that? Where are you located, this little me? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you placed whereby you're creating the thinking? Would it not make sense that if you were the thinker, then you would also be the creator of those thoughts? Is that reasonable?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So where are you that's separate from the thoughts that's creating the thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to look. You really, really got to look at this. Because there's just far too many assumptions that we run on without investigating it. Yeah? You assume there's a me here. Oh, that's interesting. Where's that? And we've assumed that there's a me here our whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we're asked the direct question, where is that? What is that? We kind of go, why can't we just spit the answer out straight away? If we are so convinced there's a me here, why is there this big, huge pause and we struggle with that question? That's odd, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When the light of truth gets shone, which is that question, you know, there's a struggle. Oh, where am I? Yeah. See, everything that, not everything, but a lot of what you seem to do, Jackie, throughout the course of the day, yeah, will be based on thoughts that appear in mind. Yeah. You need to ascertain whether or not you're the thinker of those thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not the thinker of those thoughts, what the hell does that do for free will?
Mm-hmm.
All thoughts are doing are reacting to the environment, true? Constantly reacting to the environment that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a still, quiet environment, yeah, then thoughts will just react with themselves.
Yeah, like I woke up in the middle of the night last night and I mean, the thoughts that pop in your mind just and make you worry and keep you awake. And what's the
Now,
purpose?
good. Now, are you doing that?
No, I would make it stop if I could.
Right, right. Next question. When all that's going on, when all of that was going on last night, yeah, who was the mind speaking to? Who's it speaking to?
Mm.
We would ordinarily say me. It's driving me nuts. It's speaking to me. That's what we would ordinarily say. Yeah. But aren't you the thinker of the thoughts? If you're the thinker of the thoughts, who are the thoughts speaking to? You're the creator of the thoughts. Then who are they speaking to? Given that you're the creator of them. And if you're not, if you can see that it's just all happening, yeah, where is me in that? Oh, it's speaking to me. Okay, where's that? Speaking to who? Where? Where are you? When it's speaking to, when there's the assumption that it's speaking to me, it's keeping me awake. Where's that me? What is that?
So it's just the mind talking to thoughts. And
Only.
yeah. And as soon as I can step back, I don't know, consciousness is aware of that. I don't care. And then I can I just went to sleep.
You need to see that the me, this idea of a me, is just all manifest in mind.
Mm-hmm.
For example, tell me what you think of yourself. Watch what happens right now. Watch it. Tell me what you think of yourself. Thoughts will come up and they'll tell a story about the self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, and those thoughts that come up and tell a story about the self, is the personal me. It's nothing but thoughts. Where we get confused, I think I touched on this last week. Where we get confused is there is a presence here. You are conscious. You cannot deny that. Totally cannot deny that. The problem is you're taking this consciousness to be me, and it's not. Now, what is the me? Whatever mind says. You know, that mind that you have zero control over? Zero. It creates this big story. So it mixes in. It gets mixed in with this direct experience of being conscious. And me feels real.
Mm-hmm.
Then me feels real. In the absence of all thought, where's Jackie go? Really?
Gone.
What's left? What's left?
Consciousness.
Do you fall off the chair and die?
No.
So what's Jackie? Can't get any clearer. What's Jackie? In the absence of all thoughts, where's Jackie?
It's gone.
Good. So what's Jackie?
Thoughts and memories.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Only. You know, all those thoughts that you're becoming more and more aware of. Just seeing it all happen. Even the Jackie thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Me is mind. Full stop. Creates a seeming me, which then overlays this conscious experience here.
Mm-hmm.
And me says, yep, I'm conscious. Or mind says, yep, I'm conscious. You know, mind that can't experience anything because it's not conscious. Does that make sense, Jack?
Yeah. So I've heard you say when you get to that place where you're the watcher, you're in the box seat and you're watching the thoughts, is to abide in that consciousness. But I find my mind quickly kicks back in, like you just said, and wants to hijack that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
Good. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the mind wants to step in, and that's sitting in the box seat, watching what it does. What it does. It's got nothing to do with you as the witness. Nothing to do with you.
So the more I can come back to that consciousness, just abide there and keep coming back, it just starts opening more and more. Is that what happens?
Yeah, but it's the other way around. You can't come back to it.
Mm.
Yeah. It reveals itself when you fully start to see what you're not. You can't chase after consciousness, honey. Yeah. Yeah. When a person that might be a statement that I might make, okay, good, now abide there. Yeah. That might be a statement that I may make when a person is fully seen what they're not. Yeah. Then what they're experiencing is this. Okay, good, now stay there.
Mm-hmm.
No more interest in mind. It might still flare up every now and then, but just, yep, thanks for sharing. Yeah. But you can't chase that and hope to experience that, because that'll be the me trying to chase it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just trying to get you to recognize what you are not. Watch all the assumptions and the beliefs that come up. Yeah. Watch them. Anytime you catch an assumption or a belief, no, it's not true. That's it. It's an assumption. It's a belief or a concept. Pay no more attention to it. None. You're after the truth. You're not after consciousness. You're not after awakening. You're not after bliss. Don't chase any of that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Truth. What's actually happening? The truth.
Mm.
Yeah. And it starts with, okay, do I have free will? Well, do you? You need to really have a really good look at that. Yeah. You can watch the body throughout the course of the day, or become more and more aware, if you like, of the body throughout the course of the day. And you'll start to see it doing stuff that you're not thinking about doing. It's just doing it. Where's free will then?
Mhm.
Yeah. Like an itch, there'll be an itch that appears on the body. Yeah. And the process doesn't go, oh, there's an itch, now I'm going to scratch it. That's not what happens. Itch and there's a scratch. The body's doing it. Me might step in and claim ownership of that afterwards. Lots of things happen throughout the course of the day. Yeah. Every time you blink, it's happening. Are you doing that? Or is that just happening? The blinking.
Yeah.
The breathing. Heart beating. When you're walking along, me's not walking along. There's just walking. Me's not bright enough or smart enough or intelligent enough, let me tell you, to be able to walk a body along. It's too much going on to do that. Yet me says, I'm walking down the street. Bullshit. We're not clever enough to do that. We're really not.
Mhm.
But there's the assumption I'm walking down the street. What happens when we're walking down the street and we're lost deeply in thoughts, not even present, deeply in thoughts? Who's walking down the street then? We don't even pay any attention to the walking down the street. None. But that's just happening, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to. This whole idea of doership has got to be seen through. It's got to be. Otherwise, there's going to be an assumption I'm the doer. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all okay. It really is. Don't worry. Don't sweat about it. Don't get anxious about any of this stuff. It's okay. Just relax. Relax. Just like really relax. Just to start to observe what's happening. That's all. And really start to see what's actually happening. No big deal. That's all.
Mhm.
Yeah. You're all right. Mind might say otherwise.
Mhm.
Mind can't experience all rightness. It can't. Just makes up big stories about stuff. That's all it does. Based on no experience. Thoughts can't experience. Thoughts are telling the story. Yeah. Based on what? A non-experience. So if you can see that it's based on a non-experience, what the hell is the story based on? What's going on there? You're all right, Jackie. It's okay. You really are okay. Yeah. Relax with this. Breathe. Relax with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gently, 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 gently start to see what's actually happening. Yeah. Yeah. The me arises in the mind as thoughts only. In the absence of mind or thoughts, me disappears. What does that tell you me is? Thoughts. Just thoughts. You know, thoughts that can't experience anything. If thoughts can't experience anything, nothing ever happened. All imagined. All imagined. I'm not saying experiencing hasn't happened. I'm not saying that. But what mind says about it is a story. Mind never experiences anything. It can't experience something. It just makes up stories about an experience. Not being able to experience itself. It makes up a big story about it. Just need to see that that's what's happening. Yeah, you're in the box seat. You're in the best seat in the house. Start watching what's happening. That's all. That's all. Yeah. Don't go looking for consciousness. Yeah. Don't go looking for awareness. Don't go looking for the now. Please don't do that. Don't go that route. Yeah. You'll never experience it. That way is hopeless. Hopeless. Doesn't work that way. You've got to come to see what you're not.
Okay. Thank you.
And the only thing that can come to see what you're not is that you actually are. And that reveals itself. You don't have to find it. It reveals itself. Yeah, by coming to see what you're not. Well, that's easy enough. Yeah. And I'd hardly call coming to see what you're not seeking. You're not trying to find yourself by doing that, are you? You're trying to come to see what you're not. That's not seeking yourself, true self. Yeah. No, it sounds paradoxical, but
I like what you said about seeking the truth.
yeah.
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 It's a good pointer.
Yeah. Yeah. Just remember, Jackie, that the me is nothing but mind. Or if I get more accurate, nothing but thoughts. Boom. You know, those thoughts that you're becoming aware that you can't stop, that you have zero control over, zero, and they're just happening. It's nothing to do with you. Even the me thoughts, nothing to do with you. It's not about you. We think it is. We take it all so personally. Oh, you know, it's got nothing to do with you. Zero. Start to come to see that. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Okay. That shut everybody up. On you, Malcolm.
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
If I want to meet somebody at 6 p.m. tonight,
Yeah.
how's that possible?
That'll all just happen, won't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's how it's possible. Or it may not happen either. We don't
That's
know.
right. But
Like,
there's a plan. There's a
we don't-
plan in
yeah.
place.
Yeah, and that just happened too, didn't
Okay.
it? Yeah. It's all right. Like, you know, we get a little bit scared, I guess, that, oh man, if I totally let go, like, how will anything get done? Same way it always got done. Yeah. It's just recognizing it, Lloyd, watching it happening. Just watch it all, man. Like, watch it all happening. Yeah. There's not a you there doing shit. Yeah. But you're witnessing all of the thoughts, all of the planning, all of the ideas and the this, that you're witnessing that all just happen. Nothing to do with, you're not the planner.
Amazing.
You know, it just arises as a thought, doesn't it? Boom. Yeah. The mistake that we make is, oh, I thought of that. That's me making that plan. Man, we always come in after it. Does that make sense?
Bizarre, but thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It is. Now just come to see if that's true. You've just got to come to see if that's true.
Yeah.
That's all. From your own direct experience, from your own thoughts, from your own vantage point. Yeah. This is the beauty of this. You get to see it for yourself.
Yep.
You know, I never say, oh, believe in me. You know, you have a look for yourself is what I say. I'm trying to constantly get people to have a look for themselves. And then whatever you see, then it's your truth. It's not some belief or concept or religion. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not about faith, having faith. It's, you know, it's a truth, fact finding mission. Boom. This is what this is. This is what this is. Yeah. And if you're really interested in the truth, that's what gets you through this. That's what was in me from as way back as I can remember, even as a kid. None of this is true. This. I was motivated by truth. I couldn't cop to a belief. I couldn't, even though I tried. I really, really tried because, you know, I saw belief systems working for people around me and I became envious of them. They seem happier. Why can't I have that? So I would try and try, you know, praying my tits off, and, you know, like going to church, doing all sorts of stuff that I got involved in. Didn't work here. I was after the truth. I want to know the truth. There's got to be a truth. Now, I wasn't responsible for, there's got to be truth that kept coming through. I wasn't doing that. Yeah. If I had my way, I'd have just gone along with all the other believers and they seemed quite happy. But there's no choice in that. Yeah. I was just moved in this direction. That's why when I first heard it spoken, I was like, oh, this is it. I didn't even know what it was, right? I had no clue what it was. But something resonated in me, and it's when, this is it. This is where I'm going to find the truth. How did I know? It was the first time I'd ever heard non-duality spoken. Yet all lights kind of went, yes. Yeah. It's truth I wanted. Yeah. What's the truth? What's the truth of what's actually happening? Yeah. And we've got to look for ourselves.
Mm.
We literally just have to look for ourselves. Yeah. Yeah. I keep pointing. It's up to you guys to look. Yeah. Just look and see. Just see.
Thank you. Once again, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Lloyd. Okay. Malcolm, yay.
Terry, you talk a lot about thoughts just happening, and that's been a great pointer for me, I must say. And thoughts don't experience anything. But also, you used to talk about it's not just thoughts that just happen, the seeing of the thoughts just happens.
That's right. That's right. Try not to look at the thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, try not to see. Yeah.
The attention just moves if there's nobody moving the attention.
Correct. Yes, beautiful. Yeah. And it's becoming aware of that too. Yeah. See what's actually happening. See what's actually really happening.
It gets simpler and simpler and simpler.
It does. Starts off as complicated as buggery. Yeah. Why? Because we're trying to use a dualistic mind to work it all out. And in the end, that gets dropped. When that's dropped, then it's simple as. Super simple. Super. It's such a beautiful, profound setup, what goes on in there. Yeah? Like, we can hear what the mind is saying, correct? Does anybody not hear what their mind is saying? Anybody? Good. So I assume everybody hears what their mind is saying. Yep. What ears are being used to hear that? How is that being heard? How? Talk about having a look to see what's actually really happening. And as Malcolm just pointed out, yeah, what eyes are being used to see images in the mind? What the hell's going on here? What's going on? Imagination is a profound thing. Profound. When you're asleep at night, dreaming, lying on your bed, fast asleep, yeah, what eyes are you using to see in the dream? What ears are you using to hear in the dream? What sense of touch are you using to touch in the dream? It really feels real, doesn't it? It feels like you're seeing. It feels like you're hearing. It feels like you're, yeah. I'm trying to point out how profound the dream is, yeah, and why it can be so hard to extricate yourself from it. It seems so bloody real, whether it be the sleeping dream or the waking dream. Yeah. What the hell? What ears are we using to hear what the mind is saying? It's chatting away to us all day. What's hearing that? What instrument is being used to hear that. These, like, if these were being used, I should be able to put my ear on your scalp and hear your thoughts, or vice versa. It's pretty profound. Like, it's an amazing thing what's going on in there. You start to see how it can create a seeming world and a seeming person, just like what happens in your dream when you go to sleep on your bed. All seems real too. Seems like I'm hearing and seeing and, you know, everything else that's going on in there. Really? Really? Compare the seeing of thoughts or the hearing of thoughts, yeah? Compare that to this seeing right here and this hearing right here. Compare the difference. Seriously. Like, seriously, compare the difference. One experience is profoundly awake. Is this seeing? Like the seeing of thoughts, images, yeah, that goes on. How does that compare to this seeing here, here, here? This hearing. Stop living in there. Got to come out of there. Just stop living in there. Yeah. Real life is happening here. Here. Can someone tell me what a thought is? Oh, come on. You guys have thoughts all day long, every day, and have had them for the last X amount of years. Can someone please just tell me what a thought is? What do you mean you're sitting there quiet, not being able to answer me that question? What? Can you see how ridiculous it is? What's a thought? I'm not talking about what it's saying. I'm saying, what is it? What is it? We never consider it, never even look at it. It's not a question that comes up. What the hell is a thought? Let alone where does it come from and where does it go? What about when the thought's present? What is it? I can see your mind, Lloyd. It's great. But like, what the hell is it? What is it? What the hell is it? God, no one's got an answer. Isn't that amazing? Really?
I have an answer.
Who said that? Who said that? Oh,
Calvin.
Yes.
The thought's annoying.
Helicopter pilot. Yes, go.
Annoying.
What is a thought? Annoying. But what is it? What's its attribute? What is it? Not the result of it, which would be annoying. Yeah. What the hell is a thought?
It's a kind of recognition.
Is that Patty?
No, it's Liz.
Oh, Lizzie, sorry.
It's a kind of recognition.
Yeah, that's not. What is it?
What was wrong with that answer?
Well, what is a thought?
It's a recognition.
That's what it does. What is it? Yes, Patty.
Well,
in its essence, it's knowing, just knowing. It's just being an activity that is the activity of knowing.
Yeah. Yeah. Still something prior to that.
Well, the only thing prior to knowing is awareness.
Yeah. Just talking about a thought. What is it? Not what it's saying, not what it, a thought itself. What is it?
Energy.
Who said that?
Calvin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a movement of energy. Clearly.
Yeah, but they seem to be like little.
Even that's a concept, by the way. Yeah. It's still a concept. Yeah, but it's sharper. It gets you closer to what's actually really going on here. Yeah. Was that James?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
seem to be in little chunks of information, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Sure. But what's a thought? Like, have a look. Yeah. I'm not expecting anyone to come up with an answer now. I'm not. But question that. What is it? And then what's responsible for that? Whatever answer you come up with, and what's responsible for that? So much goes on, we just don't question it because we're not taught to. Yeah. Not in any way, shape, or form are we encouraged to look at any of this stuff. That's what keeps everybody asleep. No inquiry. That's all. And there's nothing wrong with people being asleep either, which you end up discovering. It's all okay.
Terry,
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a stab at what a thought is, but
Yeah,
for
good.
me, it's the investigation or the looking, the seeing that reveals something. It reveals something.
Yeah.
And I can't even say what it reveals.
Yeah, good. You shouldn't be able to.
But there's also a kind of weaning off the mind.
Yeah.
That's the consequences of the seeing, the looking, and the investigating.
Yep.
There's a sort of
Slowly.
Yeah.
It
is. It's very gradual.
Yeah.
Then it does that again.
Yep. And God, it can be, it's gradual and there's an acceptance of that. Yeah. Yep. It's cool. It's just gradual. Yeah. And then 1 second later, you absolutely didn't see it coming at all of a sudden just goes bang. Ultimately, that's how it ends up happening. Yeah. It is gradual. Yeah. But then when it happens, it happens. But it's still it's gradual. Yeah. Gets very difficult to talk about. Yeah. Gets very difficult to talk about. You can smile about it a lot. You can laugh with it a lot. Yeah. Got your boss. Is everybody okay? Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so what do you do? Given there's no doer, relax. Which also kind of implies a doer, doesn't it? Oh, now the doer's going to relax. Yeah. But relax, like really, relax. It's a truth, fact finding mission. And it's personal, it's all yours. No one else's, your own. Let's come back to the truth. Just watch. 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 It just gets revealed. The truth ends up setting you free. Just the truth. From your direct experience. That truth I'm talking about. Yeah. Your own direct experience.